POC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from the company Lucis Technologies. This is a company we spent some time with recently, just last month at CES 2016, where we discussed with them their new NuBryte Touch system, which is a smart home solution for your house to control your lights, your fans, and be able to access outside weather, inside weather, have a camera built in, access everything from your phone, etc. What you'd expect to find out of a smart home solution. And again, the company is Lucis Technologies, and this is their NuBryte system. And what we have here is the NuBryte Touchpoint. These come in different flavors. You either have your single gain or your double gain units or dual gain units, which basically what that means is it's what it's replacing on the wall. Because what this does is it replaces a light switch. So it could be a single switch or it can be a dual switch. And depending on what kind of switch you're looking to replace it with is the kind of system you're going to want to invest into. Now they also are going to have multiple or alternative options coming out in the near future later on in the year, which will include triple and quadruple gang units as well, or 3 and 4 banger units, which is 3 and 4 light switches. But for now, we have a single gang switch right here. We took a look at, we have already taken a look at their dual gain switch, and we've taken some image of it, and we'll make it available on the review once the authors break everything down, get it installed and whatnot. That way you get an idea of what the single and the dual gain looks like. But for now, we're going to open this up because we're going to save that for the review, and we're going to show you what's inside the box. So again, this is the NuBryte Touchpoint system. So what it is it's a touch screen that takes control of the light switch that you have it installed on, and allows you to control those lights. And you can do it from the screen or manually you can pop off the screen. There's switches on the back where you can fade up and down and turn them on and off. And that was a little tight. And this is what the screen looks like. This is your NuBryte touchscreen, or Touchpoint is what they refer to it as, screen that replaces that light switch on the wall. And this becomes your home screen for everything in your house. You know, it has a camera built into it right here. So you can actually, it has like I believe it's a 170-degree viewpoint that allows you to see everything in a room. So if there's, if you have your alarm set up, if it detects motion, you can have it immediately contact you, notify you via the app that you can obtain for the NuBryte system, which is the NuBryte app. And you can also have information emailed to you and so forth. And I'm going to make a little bit of a mess here. We'll take the screen out. So as you can see, it's a flat screen. It's relatively it's pretty simple. It's not going to pop off and jump out at you as you're walking down the hall or through your house and see it sitting there on the wall. It's going to look like nothing. It's going to look less than a thermostat really. It's about maybe half the thickness of an average thermostat at least. So it's exactly what you would be looking for in a touchscreen. So it isn't tacky. It looks nice and it feels nice too in the touch and everything. It's very responsive. But again, we'll save that for the review. So on the front side, you have your display. You have your camera right here, which that's your camera. That's what it uses to be able to detect motion and everything else. You have a privacy little filter here, which is just a slider mechanism that covers the camera. And when you do that on the screen, it tells you that the camera's been disabled or privacy mode's on or whatnot. And you can turn that off. So that way, if people don't want to be spied on, say you have a beautiful date over, you're cooking her dinner, and she's looking at that and going, "Is this spying on us?" You can just walk over and go, "No, it's not." At the bottom you have some just a speaker area. On this side you have a microphone, and on this side you have a reset switch that allows you to reset this unit to factory settings, so you can start over in case anything happens. Like let's say you made an error in judgment on your settings and you get lost and you just can't quite figure out where you're going with it and you just want to reset everything. I should point out on the back, there's this little rubber thing that comes off, and this is the connection point where it's going to connect to the part of it that replaces the switch on the wall, which we'll go over right now. And that would be this portion right here. So this is the single gang replacement unit for a single light switch on the wall. As you can see on the back, it looks like a light switch, at least the back part of it does. You have your wires, you have your hot, your neutral, and your ground. One of the hots is going to be for if you've never played with a light switch in terms of wiring a light switch, you might want to get a professional to do this for you. But in case you are getting, or if you're willing to get a little brave about this, the neutral, something to keep in mind is that you have to, the light switch that you're replacing has to have a neutral wire in the wall. If it doesn't, you do have to consult an electrician and see what your options are. You're going to have your positive. There's going to be two positives that are in there that's going to the light switch. Basically, it's your, your light switch acts like a break within that signal flow. So one of these wires are coming from your breaker that's sending power into your house or through your walls, and it's making its way to this switch, and it's coming down one of these lines. Then it goes through the switch and it goes back out the other positive. The other positive is going to be sending out to the lighting device that this is going to be powering. And the diagram's right on the back as well. You have a picture of a light bulb, which means, obviously that's the black wire that's going to be heading out towards the lighting fixture. You have a picture of a lightning bolt, which is your load, so that's coming in from your breaker. You have an N, which means neutral, so that's going to be, you're going to wire this in with your neutral white wire that's in the wall, and then you have it looks kind of like I don't really know how to describe that. It's kind of like an upside down T with a couple lines underneath it, and that represents your ground. And every single light switch, everything in your house, should have always a green wire in it for grounding purposes. Now, it may not be green, it could be just copper, a copper wire that's just freely in there. That is your ground, and that's what you'd be tapping into for that one. All this information is available in their instructions as well, which is really good. Now on the front side of this, you take off this rubber piece. This is where this is going to slap on a connect. There's the connection point where the other rubber piece I took off meets with this. Underneath that, this is what I was referring to in terms of the manual switch. In case you want to, let's say you move the screen around. You bought a couple screens or something, and you want to move it around, or you're taking it off for some reason. Who knows? Maybe you like to hide it so the kids can't play with it. You can control the switch manually by hitting the center button to turn the lights on and off, and then you can dim up and down. And another important thing, which we will also mention when we run the story on this, is that you are going to want to make sure this is plugged in specifically to a light and a light only. Nothing that involves any kind of a fan, a motor of any type. It has to be just a lighting fixture. Anything else, it's not going to work. It's gonna make lots of noise. It's going to cause damage to the devices and stuff like that. So right now, these are only good for just switches that control lights, and you don't want to do 3-way or 2-way or 4-way switches or anything like that. What that means is, like, let's say you have a hallway light in the beginning, or as in your entry of your home, and you have a light switch right there to turn that hallway light on. But you can also turn that same hallway light on at somewhere else that's nearby, and each switch can turn it on and off. Those are those switches. Up doesn't always mean on because of that, because the other one could throw that off a little bit. These will not work on that. This has to be a single switch that controls just one fixture, no other switches attached to that fixture. So it's very important to keep in mind, just in case you forget to read that part of the instructions. And as long as you keep down that path, you'll be fine and you won't run into any issues, and this will be a real easy setup for you. Additionally, in the box, you have two little compartments here. The bottom one is going to contain all of your hardware. You have some screws here, and you have your nuts to be able to splice the wires together with, so that way you can take the wires that are already in your wall, and you just basically, you slide one wire that's coming in from the wall, and the wire that goes to it from this in there, you place the nut over it and twist it, and what it does is it twists it together and splices those wires together and holds them together for you, so you don't have to use E-tape or try to get, your MacGyver skills on. And in this final little pocket right here, you have some instructional material. You have something I'm going to throw on the ground, apparently. It is similar. These are similar icons in terms of what I was discussing on the back of the unit that connects, that wires in everything. This shows your icons for a light bulb, the load icon, neutral, and your ground. So in case you want to put this on the back side of, or inside your wall or something, I'm guessing. You have a sticker. That's your typical security sticker you put in the window. It's a little decal. It says monitored by NuBryte, Lucis Technologies Incorporated. You have a notice, little thing that says please ensure you've turned off the main power breaker before installing the product. Nice little warning there that, hopefully nobody makes that mistake, but if they do, that would be a very devastating mistake, so try not to do that because you might not come back from it, and if you do, it might require some hospital time. Or, maybe you'll get lucky, but even if you get lucky, it's still going to stink really badly. So, last but not least, you have instructions. You have a little fold out here that gives you everything what I told you in terms of how the wires work. The instructions break down both the single and the dual gain, the double gain units. So it's relatively the same exact little pamphlet you get no matter which unit you get. And that's it. So this is the NuBryte Touchpoint system single gang unit, which means one light switch, that will replace that one light switch on the wall and allow you to control the lights in your house that are also connected to this. And so what that means, right off the bat, with just this is connecting just that one light. So it's not connecting, it's not controlling anything else just yet, just that one light. What you do is you purchase these other modules that go throughout your house, and those communicate with it. So it's your typical kind of smart home setup where it's very modular. You buy modules, you incorporate it into everything, it all communicates with the brain. The touchscreen is your brain, so you don't have to buy an additional unit somewhere to hide in the wall somewhere like most smart home systems, to act as a hub. This is your hub. This communicates with everything. So this, and you can also do more screens as well. You don't have to have switches everywhere. You can do, 2 or 3 screens. Let's say you have a 3-story house. You can have a screen on each level. You can do a module everywhere in all the outlets, or let's say you have tons of money and you want every single light switch in your house to have one of these screens. Total overkill, but you can do it technically. At least how I understand it in terms of our discussions with them last month at CES. So it all depends on what your budget is and how much you're willing to spend in that budget. But so this, again, this is the NuBryte Touchpoint system. Controls your lights. Eventually it's going to control your fans as well. That information is a little, it's soon to come, so we don't have anything to share with you just yet, so it probably most likely will not be in the article. But we will go into all the other details in terms of what the touchscreen can do, in terms of giving you outside weather, inside temperature and whatnot, timers and countdowns, and of course energy monitoring, because it does monitor all the energy on one of the screens that can show you, and of course it has to be, it only monitors the switches in which it has modules located at, or a screen, but everything that's connected to this, it'll be able to tell you how much of that energy are you actually using. So on this light switch, let's say your kids are leaving it on for 3/4 of the day, you can see how much does that really affect you in your monthly budget. And it breaks it down for you and everything. And then finally, you have the security screen, which allows you to use this as a security system, turning it on and off. Again, all of this is also controllable from the app, which is NuBryte's app, which can be available on, or is available both on the Android and the iOS market. So, again, I keep saying it, this is the NuBryte Touchpoint system, and you're going to hear more about it from us. So go online at pocnetwork.net/blog, where one of our authors is going to take the team, install it and everything, and they're going to go over it and show you exactly what they feel about it. And we'll do a demonstration as well. I'll probably join the team so I can give you some narration in terms of the installation of the product itself, and we'll let you know what we think about it. pocnetwork.net/blog. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.